We're back with one of the creators of the Book of Elsewhere, along with China Maville. Keanu Reeves' life is like something out of a film, a combination of success, heartbreak, and perseverance. He's one of Hollywood's favorite stars, not only for his performances in The Matrix or John Wick, but for the type of person he is off-screen. Over the years, he has been respected by fans for being quietly generous, for persevering through unimaginable losses, and for being down to earth in a business driven by egos. But life hasn't been very kind to Keanu. He has experienced more suffering than most people would ever dream of, losing the people he loved, struggling with his own demons, and yet somehow managing to keep going. But then, just as it appeared his fortunes were turning at last, fate had another idea. What has come out recently about Keanu isn't merely unexpected, it's sorrowful. But first, let's step back and examine how he arrived today, where success, tragedy, and the unstoppable will that defines Keanu Reeves have conspired to deliver him. Early life of Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves's biography is as interesting as any Hollywood film. Plenty of highs and lows, tragedy, and bouts of sheer toughness. Born on September 2, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, Keanu was brought up in an atypical childhood. His mother, Patricia, was an English costume designer, while his father, Samuel, was of mixed blood with Hawaiian, Chinese, English, and Portuguese descent. But life wasn't precisely picture-perfect. His father abandoned the family when Keanu was 3 years old. The last time he laid eyes on him was when Keanu was 13, when he dropped by for a visit to Hawaii. When his parents divorced, his mom relocated the family a lot, to Sydney, to New York, and then finally to Toronto, where Keanu spent much of his youth. His mother remarried several times, though none of these marriages stuck. This kind of instability defined Keanu's childhood, instilling him with independence at a young age. Keanu did not like school. He went to 4 different high schools and was even expelled from one for being a bit too rambunctious. Schoolwork wasn't his forte, in part because he had dyslexia. But there was one thing he adored: ice hockey. He was so proficient at it that he hoped to play for the Canadian Olympic team. A bad injury, though, ended that dream. At roughly the same time, he discovered acting, and at the age of 15, he knew that was what he was to pursue. His big break came early in the 1980s when he began making appearances on television in small roles and advertisements. Yes, he even did a Coca-Cola commercial. His ability was undeniable, but Hollywood wasn't always kind to him. His agents at one point even told him that he should change his name because Keanu didn't sound unusual. He briefly used the alias Casey Reeves before deciding to keep his own name, a decision that would one day become legendary. One of his early breakout performances was in River's Edge, 1986, a teen movie about teens coping with a murder. Critics adored it, and Keanu's performance was hailed. Then there was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, 1989, which catapulted him to stardom. The wacky time-traveling pair won hearts, and suddenly Keanu was Hollywood's go-to laid-back, charming dude. But Keanu didn't wish to be stereotyped as yet another teenage heartthrob. He accepted more serious films, such as My Own Private Idaho, 1991, where he portrayed a street hustler with problems alongside his close friend River Phoenix. At roughly the same period, he also starred in Point Break, 1991, a thrill-seeking action movie that tasked him to learn to surf. His on-screen work as an undercover FBI agent became legendary, and the movie was a blockbuster. Keanu experimented with music as well. He played bass guitar in a band named Dogstar, showing that his skills weren't confined to acting alone. In 1994, he co-starred in Speed with Sandra Bullock. The non-stop action thriller about a bus that would blow up if it fell below 50 mph was a box office hit and solidified Keanu as an action hero. Yet life outside the limelight was not so rosy. His best friend, River Phoenix, died that same year. Keanu was heartbroken but continued to roll forward. His journey in Hollywood was far from smooth, but Keanu's determination and kindness earned him one of the most loved actors in the trade. And just when life seemed to be treating him kindly, at last one more heartbreak came his way, one even more disastrous than anything he had suffered before. Ups and downs of Keanu's career. During the mid-90s, Keanu Reeves had a combination of film and stage projects, some of which were well received, while others not so much. But one thing was certain: He was always trying out new roles, whether in action-oriented sci-fi movies, tear-jerking dramas, or even Shakespearean theater. One of his largest films at this point was Johnny Mnemonic, 1995, a cyberpunk action movie, set in the far-off future of 2021, so much for that being in the future. Keanu starred as a guy with a cybernetic brain implant who must get a secret data package delivered before it killed him or before the Yakuza murdered him first. Sounds thrilling, right? Alas, reviewers didn't think so. Most people thought Keanu was miscast and that the movie itself was too campy. Nevertheless, some, such as renowned critic Roger Ebert, enjoyed its idiotic grandeur, essentially stating it was so bad it was nearly good. That same year, he was in A Walk in the Clouds, a romantic drama that came about when a World War II soldier returned home to try to begin anew. Some critics felt it was touching and wonderfully shot, while others perceived it as overly sweet and sentimental with not much real substance. But Keanu wasn't simply limiting himself to film. He also made a significant move into play acting. In 1995, he acted out Prince Hamlet in a stage production of Hamlet in Winnipeg, Canada. It was a formidable task given the fact that Shakespeare's plays are famous for their intense emotions and intricate language. But Keanu, a Shakespeare aficionado all along, gave it everything he had. One critic went so far as to rank him among the top 3 Hamlets they'd ever seen, admiring the raw emotion and passion he conveyed to the role. For Keanu, the process was highly personal. He afterward confessed that acting Hamlet taught him how angry he was at his mother, something he hadn't realized until then. Following Shakespeare, Keanu went back to sci-fi with Chain Reaction, 1996, a thriller in which a young scientist is wrongly accused of a crime he did not commit. Though it had an intriguing premise and a good cast, which featured Morgan Freeman and Rachel Weisz, the film tanked. Critics labeled it formulaic, and it only received a 16% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Things did not get better with Feeling Minnesota, 1996, a crime comedy in which he co-starred with Cameron Diaz and Vincent D'Onofrio. Again, critics were not impressed. Most found the film to be sloppy, and some even went so far as to say that Keanu was miscast entirely. Now Keanu had a serious decision to make. The studio paid him $12 million to come back for Speed 2, Cruise Control, a sequel to the popular 1994 film that had turned him into a big-time action hero. But Keanu turned down the offer. He read the script and didn't care for it. Instead, he set off to tour with his band Dogstar and work on other ventures. The move wasn't without repercussions. 20th Century Fox was so dissatisfied that they allegedly wouldn't work with him for 10 years. But looking back, Keanu may have made the correct decision. Speed 2 became a critical and box office flop. While on tour with Dogstar, Keanu acted in The Last Time I Committed Suicide, 1997, a drama inspired by a true letter penned by author Neil Cassidy to his friend Jack Kerouac. The film was moderately received. Some reviewers believed Keanu's performance was listless, while others believed it was among his more passionate performances. But things turned around in 1997. Keanu acted in The Devil's Advocate, a supernatural thriller in which he played a young, ambitious attorney who unwittingly begins working for the devil himself, played by Al Pacino. The movie had suspense, drama, and even a little horror thrown in, and it was well received by critics. Keanu was so keen to work with Al Pacino that he even took a pay cut so the studio could pay the legendary actor. That move proved worthwhile, as The Devil's Advocate was a success, and reminded everybody that Keanu was more than a one-trick action star. He was capable of deep psychological roles as well. Through this time, Keanu experienced his fair share of failures, yet he also showed that he was not afraid to take risks. He rejected a huge salary for a film that he did not think was worth his while, experimented with theater, and kept experimenting in other directions. And unbeknownst to him, his greatest career milestone was coming his way. Love, loss, and the saddest news yet for Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is always private, but has a life of deep love, sharp heartbreaks, and hidden pursuit of purpose. His series of relationships, heartbreaks, and inner transformations have propelled him to being one of the most respected Hollywood stars, not even because of the movies he produces, but because he has endured everything with strength and goodness. In 1998, Keanu dated Jennifer Syme, an assistant to director David Lynch. They met at a party for his rock band Dogstar and were soon a couple. Their relationship was going well, and in 1999, they were due to have a child together. But on December 24th, disaster struck when Jennifer had given birth prematurely at 8 months gestation and their baby was stillborn. The disappointment was too much, and the couple soon broke up. Although they broke up, Keanu and Jennifer came back together again. They were rekindling their relationship when, in April 2001, yet another tragic loss of life struck. Jennifer was driving in Los Angeles when her car collided with 3 parked cars. She wasn't buckled in and had alcohol in her system at the time. She was killed instantly in the collision. Keanu was heartbroken. He then informed investigators that they had recently spent time together the previous day in San Francisco. He even acted as a pallbearer during her funeral, during which Jennifer was buried alongside their daughter. The loss put Keanu in profound sorrow. He was scheduled to begin filming the Matrix sequels in the spring of 2001, but as his Dogstar bandmate Brett Domrose tells it, he needed time to heal before he could continue. Even with his heartache, Keanu stayed close to individuals who counted. He was also romantically associated with model actress China and director Brenda Davis, whose child he is the godfather of. But one of his most enduring and fascinating friendships is with actress Winona Ryder. They appeared together in Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, and in one scene, they were married in a real ceremony conducted by a Romanian priest. To this day, Winona teasingly refers to Keanu as her husband, and he goes along with it, saying they might really be married in real life. In 2009, Keanu met artist Alexandra Grant at a dinner party. They became fast friends and created 2 books together. Their friendship grew over the years into something more, and in 2019 they went public with their relationship. Fans were excited for Keanu, elated to see him in love again after everything he had been through. Keanu is not one to discuss religion a great deal, but asked directly, he has replied that he believes in God, faith, inner faith, the self, passion, and things. He considers himself to be spiritual, though he does not belong to any specific religion. Filming for Little Buddha, however, had a lasting effect on him. Buddhism in general and its teachings regarding knowing feelings, impermanence, and compassion appealed to him. He himself once stated that what he derived from Buddhism were not religious concepts, but profound human teachings on life and humanity. Keanu's influence has even made its way into the realm of science. Scientists named a new compound Keanumide after him in 2023. It's a lipopeptide that kills fungi dead, much like a nanoscale action hero. The scientists felt that the name was appropriate because it kills efficiently, much like Keanu's action hero protagonists. But in spite of being awarded in science, Keanu has been contemplating a great deal about something much greater: life and death. In 2024, he publicly spoke his mind, stating, "I'm thinking about death all the time. That's a good thing. Hopefully it's not crippling, but hopefully it makes us appreciate the breath we have and the relationships we can build." It is not surprising that Keanu is so attuned to the ephemeral nature of life when one considers that he has had so much loss. Even with all his philosophical thoughts, Keanu continues to push himself. In 2024, he entered the world of motorsports. For the first time in the Toyota GR Cup North America, he competed at the iconic Indianapolis Motor Speedway, crossing the line 25th in the first event and 24th in the second. Although he didn't take the victory, it was obvious he wasn't there to compete. He was there for the experience, for the rush of doing something new. With love, loss, and introspection, Keanu Reeves is still one of Hollywood's most intriguing and endearing personalities. Whether he's acting in action films, co-authoring books with his girlfriend, or racing cars, he continues to live life on his own terms, quietly, reflectively, and with an unmistakable sense of adventure. Helping those in need, Keanu's generosity is born of personal experience. His sister fought leukemia, and seeing her fight had a profound effect on him. Rather than simply giving money, he did something. He established a private cancer foundation that benefits children's hospitals and supports cancer research. Unlike most celebrities, Keanu doesn't make a big show of his charity efforts. He once stated, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I have already made for the next few centuries." In 2020, he worked as a volunteer at Camp Rainbow Gold, which is an Idaho-based charity that helps children who are battling cancer. His generosity in assisting others has not escaped attention. Indeed, Anko Daily included him in its list of the 100 most influential celebrities in oncology for his efforts in cancer-related causes. Keanu is known to be one of the most charitable individuals in Hollywood. There's a famous rumor that he donated between $35 million and $125 million of the Matrix profits to the special effects and makeup departments. Though the story is slightly different, he actually sacrificed part of his profit share so the movie would be able to afford a higher budget for visual effects. His choice nonetheless benefited the movie and the crew. His philanthropy extends to major productions. While shooting for The Matrix, he learned that a member of the crew was facing family problems. Without thinking twice, he presented the individual with $20,000 to settle their financial woes. For the stunt team of The Matrix Reloaded, he did one better. He purchased a Harley-Davidson motorcycle for each of the 12 members as a gesture of appreciation for their dedication. He said, "I just wanted to give a bigger thank you to all these guys who helped me make this." Keanu carried on this tradition with John Wick. Chapter 4. When filming finished, he presented his stunt team with individual Rolex Submariner watches engraved with a special message. He even had custom t-shirts made for the extras, each displaying the number of times their character had died in the movie. Keanu doesn't simply give money. He actively goes out of his way to find ways to contribute. In 2023, he teamed up with director Chad Stahelski and Brazilian jiu-jitsu master Dave Camarillo to sign a limited edition training uniform. The autographed item was sold at auction, with proceeds benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which assists children who are fighting life-threatening diseases. In 2024, he participated in another significant project. He signed a one-day contract with the Windsor Spitfires, a Canadian hockey club, and auctioned autographed items to raise funds for the Canadian Mental Health Association of Windsor, Essex. Keanu's passion projects. Keanu isn't all about film. He loves motorcycles, books, and narrative storytelling. In 2011, he joined forces with Gard Hollinger to co-found Arch Motorcycle Company. The company offers custom-made motorcycles for enthusiasts like Keanu, who is a longtime biker. But there's more. He also founded Company Films with his buddy Stephen Hamill. This production entity enables him to create independent film projects outside the mainstream Hollywood machinery. Keanu's passion for storytelling does not stop at the screen. In 2017, he co-founded X Artists Books, XAB, with Jessica Fleischman and longtime friend and collaborator Alexandra Grant. The publishing company is dedicated to artistic and experimental books. Keanu has even co-authored 2 books with Grant, Ode to Happiness and Shadows. The books combine his poetic prose with her photography and artwork, revealing a new aspect of his creative talents. A hard-working star, Keanu was always a mellow sort of guy. He was once referred to as Hollywood's ultimate introvert by Time magazine, and his co-workers say he is hardworking, generous, and very shy. Director Francis Lawrence, who collaborated with him on Constantine, testified that Keanu is hardworking and generous. Yet despite working alongside him for more than a year, his co-star Shia LaBeouf confessed, "I don't really know him that much." Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu's longtime Matrix co-star, characterized him in 2023 as kinder than people say he is, and referred to him as a very gentle, highly intelligent man. Actor and comedian Aziz Ansari even joked that Keanu is really an angel who is just faking being human for his film roles. Hiroyuki Sanada, who collaborated with him in John Wick 4, captured it beautifully. "He's so humble, very kind to others. He's always trying to do his best." The sad Keanu meme and internet fame in 2010, a picture of Keanu sitting alone on a bench staring deep in thought, went viral, becoming the sad Keanu meme. The internet went wild, and some fans even made June 15th Cheer Up Keanu Day. When questioned about the photo, Keanu just laughed and stated, "Man, I was having a sandwich. I was thinking. I had some things going on. I was hungry." With time, his combination of reserved charm, consideration, and down-to-earth personality made him an internet phenomenon. His people skills, whether on camera or in person, earned him the nickname the Internet's Boyfriend from fans. Vox and Screen Rant labeled him one of the nicest actors in Hollywood, and The Guardian and the BBC dubbed him the nicest man in Hollywood. Keanu became an even greater hit in 2019. After a visit on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, asked how he feels about dying, Keanu said flat out, I know that the ones who love us will miss us. His emotive response took over the world on social media. Even one New Yorker writer referred to it as a transcendent moment. Keanu doesn't only portray heroes on the screen. He tends to behave like one in real life as well. In 2019, when his United Airlines flight to Burbank was forced to make an emergency landing in Bakersfield, Keanu didn't sit idly waiting for assistance. Rather, he assisted in coordinating alternative travel for the passengers and even kept them entertained by reading interesting facts about Bakersfield and playing country music off his phone. Time magazine later joked, "If you're looking for a road trip buddy, Keanu Reeves should be on the top of your list." In the same year, he had another heartwarming moment. While filming Bill and Ted Face the Music, he saw a house with a banner that said, "You're breathtaking," a phrase that had become a meme after his Cyberpunk 2077 appearance. Instead of just waving, Keanu stopped to sign the banner and chat with the family, proving once again why he's so beloved. That's not all the kindness he did. In 2022, he became trending news for surprising a fan in the UK for her wedding. After meeting bride-to-be groom James Rodknight randomly at a pub, Keanu amazed the couple with his surprise guest appearance at the wedding reception. The bride, Nikki, described him as a truly kind guy who was down to earth. Even during his own Dogstar show in 2023, Keanu took a minute to brighten a young boy's day. Before the performance, a boy named Elijah asked if he'd like to play catch. Keanu smiled and agreed, throwing a football back and forth. The kid went on to say it was the top moment of his life and that he would treasure the ball forever and ever. Awards and success. Keanu Reeves has been a Hollywood powerhouse since 1985, appearing in some of the greatest and most successful films of all time. On the movie review website Rotten Tomatoes, some of his finest films are River's Edge 1987, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 1989, My Own Private Idaho 1991, Much Ado About Nothing 1993, Speed 1994, The Matrix 1999, and the John Wick franchise 2014 to 2019. He also provided the voice of Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4 2019, which was another blockbuster. Reeves has been awarded a number of times for his acting. He has won 4 MTV Movie Awards, which are renowned for awarding fun and fan-favorite movies. He was also nominated for 2 Best Actor awards at the Saturn Awards, which are dedicated to honoring excellence in science fiction, fantasy, and horror films. His performance in John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum 2019, saw him nominated for 2 awards at the People's Choice Awards, Favorite Male Movie Star and Favorite Action Movie Star. Even apart from acting, Reeves has been hailed for his contribution to entertainment and pop culture. In 2015, People magazine took a look back and named him the sexiest man alive of 1994 when Speed propelled him to stardom. In 2021, Taekwondo Life magazine voted him the #1 martial arts movie star in the world. This followed the success of his action movies and their performance at the box office. Later in 2024, Reeves was recognized by Gold House, an organization that honors powerful Asian leaders, as one of the most influential Asians of the year. He was also awarded the esteemed Inkpot Award at San Diego Comic-Con for his lifetime achievements in film, television, comics, and literature. From fast-paced action films to emotional dramas, Reeves has established a prestigious career spanning many years. His commitment to the craft and constantly increasing fan base have ensured that his impact in Hollywood remains glaring. Keanu's upcoming projects. Keanu Reeves has some exciting projects lined up for the next few years, covering everything from action-packed sequels to Broadway and even anime. First up, he's starring alongside Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari in Good Fortune, which will be Ansari's first film as a director. After that, Reeves will appear in Outcome, a dark comedy by Jonah Hill that will be released on Apple TV+. Of course, Reeves isn't done with his most iconic action role just yet. In 2025, he gets back to playing John Wick in Ballerina, which is a spin-off film from the John Wick franchise. Fans can also anticipate, but very hard. The Entertainment System is Down, a satirical film written and directed by Ruben Östlund, famous for his incisive and provocative storytelling, features Reeves in a starring role. He's also producing a documentary on legendary martial artist Benny Urquidez, to be released in 2025. On top of that, he's branching out into something entirely new, Broadway. Later in 2025, Reeves will debut on stage in Waiting for Godot, which is to be directed by Jamie Lloyd. One of the most promising projects in development is the film version of BRZRKR, Reeves' own comic book series. Netflix is developing the film, and there's even a possibility that Reeves will direct it. Following the movie, Netflix will then develop a 2-season anime series based on BRZRKR, and it will be produced by renowned animation house Production IGAs for John Wick 5. Fans might have to wait a bit. While a sequel has been in the works by Lionsgate, director Chad Stahelski has expressed that he'd like to take the franchise off the table for the time being. But the John Wick universe continues to grow. There's a new TV series on the horizon titled John Wick, Under the High Table, and Reeves will be an executive producer. From blockbuster action and comedy to the Great White Way in anime, Reeves is again demonstrating that he's one of Hollywood's most versatile stars. Keanu Reeves' life has been a blend of amazing triumph and tragic struggles. As much of a huge star in Hollywood as he became, however, it was not all smooth sailing for him. He lost his father when he was young, endured personal tragedies such as the stillbirth of his daughter, and later the tragic loss of his girlfriend Jennifer Syme. These tragedies profoundly impacted him, but he never allowed them to control him. Even with his success and wealth, Reeves has never been arrogant, usually donating enormous amounts of his money to those in need. His kindness, generosity, and reserved personality have endeared him to everyone in Hollywood. Yet even with all the accolades, he has experienced professional setbacks, personal loss, and times of solitude. Through all the highs and lows, Reeves has kept going, enjoying his job and the company he keeps. Whether through his films, Philanthropy, or just being a really nice guy, he's brought hope to millions. His tale is an example that no matter how bad things get, it's possible to keep moving, remain compassionate, and make a difference. Keanu Reeves is not only an action hero in the movies, he's a hero in real life as well. And that's a wrap on Keanu Reeves' incredible life story, filled with highs, lows, and everything in between. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. Let us know in the comments what you think about Keanu's journey and which of his movies is your favorite. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.